today we are making the sugar skull wreath, and this one is the same concept as the butterfly wreath we've already done and the owl wreath. Now if you haven't seen those, you can go to my YouTube channel and you will see the videos on how to make those two different wreaths. So today we're going to be making this one, and everything is from Dollar Tree except your plastic canvas that I'm going to show you, but your flowers and your wreath ring is from Dollar Tree. So let's get started on the supplies. What you're going to need is, of course, some zip ties, and I'm going to show you how to use all these things. So you need a package of zip ties from Dollar Tree. You're going to need a bunch of flowers. Now with the sugar skull, there is a lot of different colors that you can do. Normally it's a skull, so of course you want white, but it's really hard to find white in the fall. So you might want to go with these mums, which are like an off-white, and these would be perfect. And of course for the eyes, for the daisies and things like that are perfect. And this one here is hydrangea, and this is actually what I used for the mouth. Okay, so look at the mouth here. That is the hydrangea. Okay, so you need a bunch of flowers, and you're going to need about 10 bunches depending on how you want to make your sugar skull. So one thing I do want to say is many people will send me a message or they'll ask me in the comments, can I use this, can I use this? You can use whatever you want. You have to try things out on your own. This is the way I do it, so I really can't say whether or not something you want to use is going to work, because I don't know. I haven't used it, I haven't tried it. This is the way I do it, but I always say give it a shot. You never know, it might turn out perfect. It might be a better way to do it for you, so I would say go ahead and give it a try. The other thing you're going to need is the 8-inch ring from Dollar Tree. Okay, so they're sold in the floral department next to the flowers. You're going to need the plastic canvas. Now some of you have tried the foam board, and that's fine if it works for you. I just like this because it's easy to work with. It's durable. If you're going to sell these, you most certainly don't want them falling apart. The problem with foam board, after time your flowers are going to start popping off and things, and when you use a hot glue gun on this, it kind of really adjoins to this plastic because it kind of melts into it. So that's why I use this. This is 13 by 22. They sell them online at Amazon. eBay carries them. This is a 13 1/4 by 22 inches. So that's how big it is, so that you make a nice decent sized wreath. Okay, now let's talk about the template. When I made this first one, okay, I had gone to Joanna Fabric, which gave me the idea, and I found this wooden template that you can paint. This was $8, and I used a 40% off coupon, but I knew that you guys would have a really hard time finding a template like this. So I took my time to figure out how to get a template for all of you, and I came up with an idea. So this is what I did. I went online and I took a sugar skull and I enlarged it to be like a poster size. So this is what you guys would be working with. Now you do need to copy this from a laptop or a desktop, or if you don't have access to that, you could probably go to an Office Max, Office Depot, Office Supply store and share the link with them somehow, because they have all ways to do different things, and you might be able to get them to print this. So this is on a regular sheet of paper, so 8.5 by 11. It took 2 sheets. So when you print it, it looks like this. Okay, so it comes in 2 sheets. You're just going to tape them together, and of course you're going to cut your template out so that you can use it on your plastic canvas. Okay, so this is how you're going to do this. If you decide you want to make these and you want to sell these, then I would cut this out and maybe glue it to a piece of foam board so you have a nice sturdy template to work with, because this is going to be the size that you're going to be working with. Okay, so if you are on the Facebook channel and you're watching this video, you can go above and the link for this is there. If you're on YouTube watching, in the description is the link for you to click and get this. If for some reason you're having any problems, this is the only way that I was able to print this out for everybody. I don't have any other way to get this to you. So you'd have to do the few suggestions that I just gave you in order to get this template. Okay, so let's get started on making the wreath. But the other things you're going to need is a Sharpie marker, glue gun, and glue stick. These are kitchen shears, but they are perfect for working on the plastic canvas. I purchased these at Dollar Tree. And you're going to need some snips, and these are also in the automotive department at Dollar Tree, along with your zip ties. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your piece of canvas, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to take this template. Now look, this template is still too small, okay? So what I did so that I had a full sheet of this was I took it as far to this side as I could, and I traced this side onto it, and I left it to about right there. Then I took and I slid it over to the other side, and I traced around it, and then all I did was connect the 2 and the 2, and then I cut it out. So then you wind up with this. Okay, so that's all you have to do is take that template, like I said, and if you wanted to, and you want to do the foam board thing, like I said, to have a template, you can take the one that you already cut, so you don't have to keep doing that with the paper back and forth, and you can just trace this one onto your foam board, and then you'll have one forever, and you'll be able to use it every time you want to make a sugar skull wreath. Okay, so again, all you do is take your template and you trace this half side, you slide it over, and you take your black marker and you trace this black side, and then you're going to have your template to be able to cut out so that you wind up with this. Okay, so once you have your whole template, we're going to do the wreath form just like we do on all our other wreaths. You're going to take your wreath form and you're just going to cut off a section, so about 4 inches. And as you can see, that's what we have here. Okay, so you have the whole ring, and we're cutting off a section, and this is going to give the stability of the mouth. Once you have this done, you're going to take a bunch of your flowers, and you're going to pull those off, and you're going to use the wire from your flowers to give the mouth stability. Okay, because you want that in there so that the mouth is not flapping around. Okay, once you clip those off, you're going to stick one up here, and then of course you're going to just push your bottom on. Once you have that on, we're going to take some hot glue now, and we're just going to put it around here so that it doesn't wind up coming off. Okay, so you just want to add some glue so that it doesn't pop out on you. You know, you don't want it to be popping when you're working on it or when you go to hang it, so you want hot glue around here and here, here and here. Okay? Okay, so you know that you zip tie these on, as you can see. So what you're going to do is put your ring on, you're going to zip tie it. Again, for those of you wondering the best way to zip tie it, you just take your zip tie and you're going to come from the back side and you're going to push it through, and then you're going to pull it through this side, okay, and then you're going to zip tie it here, and that is how you zip tie this onto here. Okay, so you put your ring on with your zip ties, you add your 2 things, you add a zip tie at the bottom, and now you have a nice sturdy frame to work with. With everything we do, you always want to start, especially when it's something like this, with the eyes. So for this one, I'm going to use these purple daisies because I think that would be really cool with the sugar skull. Okay, make sure you have enough glue sticks to do this. Okay, so then when you have your flower, you're going to take and we're going to snip this off. And you're going to do this on all the flowers. Anytime you do a plastic canvas, you got to snip these off so that you have a nice flat surface to work with. And you want to put a lot of hot glue on here so that it's nice and gooey. Okay? So that's one eye. See how much hot glue I have on there? And you're just going to try to center it where you think the eye might be, and we're going to glue it on. Okay? Hold it for a few minutes and let it dry. And now we're going to do the next one. If for some reason like this pops off like it just did, take your hot glue and glue that back on. You definitely want to glue it back on so that the flower is nice and sturdy. Okay, so take and glue it in there again. So glue that back on there because you don't want your flower falling apart once it's on the face. Okay, so again we're going to add enough hot glue. and we're going to put that about right where the other eye goes. Okay, so you always want to start with the eyes because that is your center point of your project. Not really your center point, but it's got to be your starting point, because then you're going to work around it and down, but because your eyes are your center. Now I know on the owl a lot of people had trouble lining up their flowers, so what I suggest doing is working across. But as you can see, I kind of went in a off-center motion, so you just kind of have to put a flower on this side, 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 and go back and forth so that it doesn't look all crooked and uneven. Okay, so let's add a little more hot glue. Okay, so your eyes are on. Now what you're going to do is we're going to do the same thing we did when we did the other wreaths, and that is we're going to take our flower apart and we are going to pull it off. And this is the flower upright. What you want to do is you want to glue the back side, and you can tell by the back side because it's got the finished edge there kind of, and you're going to fold it in half and you're going to glue it in half. Okay, so now you have this, and this is how you're going to work on this whole wreath all the way around. So we're not going to be doing this complete wreath today. I'm just giving you the idea of how this works, and then you're going to take it on your own. Okay, so I added one flower right there, and I'm going to take the other one, and I'm going to use this whole flower on that one eye. My glue gun today doesn't want to work right. Okay. I saw in one of the groups there's a new glue stick that's a big circle so that you don't have to keep changing your glue. And I'm going to go look at those because they're at Michael's for $2.99. You can use a coupon on it, and how cool would that be? But I don't know if that hanging thing would be driving me crazy with the glue in my way working. So I'm going to show you in a minute what I have around the one eye. Okay, so all you're doing is taking and folding all these flowers, which is really quick, but it is a little time consuming to make this. Okay, okay, so look, we have one eye completely done. Okay. So there we go. It's all the way around the one eye. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a flower and let me see. This is where you have to decide like what you want in the center of the forehead here. So you got to pick out some fun flowers for you to be able to do that. So how cool is this? I think I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to, because there's always a flower on the forehead or it's as a crown, so I'm going to add that one right there. Okay, so if you want big flowers like this, all you have to do is add them while you're adding your bigger flowers, because once we get into the white flowers around the rest of it, that is when you have to make sure that your flowers are pretty much in place, because you don't want to have to keep pushing them over or changing them. Okay, so that one's on. And then what I'm going to do is I'm only going to work on this half because I want to show you guys how to do it. What you're going to do is you're going to take your off-white or your white flowers, and again we are just doing this, fold it in half, add some hot glue, and then what you do is, remember, you're always going to lift the previous flowers and you're going to put this under. Okay, so you lift the flowers and glue, lift the flowers and glue, lift the flowers and glue, and that's what gives it that nice fullness. If you don't do that, you're going to wind up having spaces that you're going to be able to see in between. So you have to lift your previous flower in order to get. So again, we're lifting the flowers and we're adding it in. Okay, so look, now we got that done. Now as far as the nose goes, I went with a completely different flower that I had just spare, and I don't know what I'm going to use for my nose yet, so I'm going to kind of leave that open, but I just added some green leaves, and that's what's here too, is green leaves from the actual flowers we're working with. So that's how you can accent and do different things here and here, and the mouth, like I said, is the other flowers, and then I add a little flower at the bottom here just to give it some color. Okay? So that is all we're doing, is we're going to keep adding. And you got to take these completely apart. Okay? And if I did this whole thing with you, this video would be like an hour and a half long. That's about how long it's going to take you. So I am going to just go a little bit further just to show you guys how easy this is. So remember, you need about 7 or 8 of just these, and then you're going to buy 3 or more of your accent flowers. Okay? So this is super easy to do. It is going to take you a good hour, hour and a half. I know some people it took a lot longer. Just depends on how quickly you work. The first one is always a little harder because you're just getting started. But as you start to make these different wreaths that I show you, you'll get quicker. And some of you might want to just sit there and glue flowers together and then just put your whole wreath together at one time. Okay? So look, we have the eye almost done. And if this is one of the first videos you're watching, you do have to check out my channel because we've done other wreaths. We've done curl wreath. We've done other wreaths like this. We've done fairy dolls with flowers. So my channel does have a lot of different things on it. We've done rock jewelry. So there's a lot of fun things that you can do, and most of them are made with Dollar Tree supplies. So it is fun. Okay, just lifting and putting those in there, but you can see how quickly you go through the flowers. And I just want to get like one side of the face done so that I can show you how to add your leaves in there, and then you guys can start to make it on your own. And remember, if you're on Facebook and you need the template, just look above in the post, and there is the template for your sugar skull. Again, you have to use a laptop or desktop to print it out unless you're going to an office store to have it printed for you. You can cut it out and put it on your plastic canvas, and then use your plastic canvas on a piece of foam board so that you have your template already made when you trace your sugar skull. And you can also order flowers from Dollar Tree. If you're not aware of this, you can go to their website. You can order them by the case. There's usually 30 in there, but they're not all the same color, so it might be perfect for those of you that want to start making these and selling them. So you can do that as well. And see, it does go pretty quickly. And we have like one more flower to do so that I can finish this side and just show you how to accent your sugar skull with leaves or other flowers. Okay. So these big ones here are mums, and they come in several different colors, and you'll know that they're mums because there's a little tag where the price tag is that tells you what it is. And that's how you know what kind of flower you're using. And this way it's going to be nice and sturdy. And I know that some of you have already sold a few of the owl wreaths I showed you how to make, so congratulations on that. And because these are so different, I don't know where I really came up with the idea. I never seen anything like these. I just thought it would be fun to start making things with flowers, and a new idea was born, and that's how things happen. So okay, so we have half of the face done. So now I'm going to just show you if you wanted to add something right in here to give it a little bit of an accent, because we already have the red around it. Now if you did want to add a little more red, of course all you have to do is take your flower, and you can add more anywhere you want as you're going. You don't want to go too close underneath it, because then you're going to use a ton of flowers. So say for instance we wanted to add a little bit more color around the eye. All you have to do is take your thing and you just lift up on the flowers right in here, and you just add it in there. So move it away from the other flowers. See, move it away, and then stick it in there and press down. Okay, so now we are going to do the mouth here, and all you're going to do is, you may have a little trouble finding these. You can come up with a different idea. You might be able to use a black flower that will be coming out with Halloween. They'll probably have black roses at Dollar Tree, and you'll be able to make the mouth that way. So just get creative. But these are hydrangeas, and what I did was I just took one off, and again you're going to pull the center out, and you're going to add a little glue right in the middle, just a dab, and you're going to pinch it. Okay, and you're pinching it so that it just kind of forms a center. I'll show you what I mean. Kind of like a mouth, you know what I mean? Like a crease right here. Okay, so you have like this crease. And then all you do is you add a little glue to the back side, and you're going to do your whole face first. Your mouth is going to be last. And all you're going to do is you're going to take some glue and shove it into the flower with some hot glue on it, and then you're just going to add some glue on the top of the two lips and the bottom of the two lips, and that is how I put my mouth on. So it's really, really simple to do that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of the flower stems, and we're going to pull off a leaf, and the same thing with the leaves. You're going to take the two with the center one, and you're going to fold it in half so it looks like this. Okay? And then all you're going to do is you're going to take your leaf, put some hot glue on there, and you're just going to lift again in between your flowers. You're going to lift your flower, and you're just going to put the leaf in there. Okay? So if you want to do that a few times so that it really sticks out, if you want to just do it once so that you have a little bit there, there's a lot of things that you can do. It doesn't really matter. As you can see here, I added some here on to give it a cheekbone, and then I added a couple here, and then I added just little accents here. I added a smaller flower here. These come in a bunch, and this is just a smaller flower. And then this is actually one of these, so I just added that down here. And that's all you do. You just keep going and going and going, and you try to make it as even as possible as you're working, and just hold it back as you're working to make sure that the flowers are going on evenly. And then, like I always tell you guys, add a zip tie at the top. Leave it a little bit loose, because some people might want to hang it longer or shorter depending on their door. I like mine so I can see my peephole, so I always use a zip tie on mine. It's perfect. And there you have your sugar skull. So until our next one, thank you for watching, and have fun making your own.